Ever feel like life's a video game? Like we're all just playing characters? Well, get this. Today we're diving deep into the wild ideas of Story Waters, this spiritual channeler who says life on Earth is, get this, a lot like a video game.
Story, he channels this wisdom about Earth being like a cosmic playground for souls. It's all about growth and evolution.
So walk me through it. How does this Earth game, as he calls it, actually work?
Okay, so picture this. There's this place Story calls the Interplane. It's like a realm where souls hang out between lives. He describes it like a huge interdimensional convention center, like, Comic-Con, but for souls, right? And they're browsing these different life experiences, kind of like checking out new video games to play.
Wow, okay. I'm trying to wrap my head around that. So you're saying before we're born, our souls get to pick out a life, we actually have a say?
He calls this whole thing character creation. Our higher selves, they're up there carefully picking out our starting attributes, family, talents, even our weaknesses. It's like customizing your character in a video game. Do you want to be a warrior or a mage?
So it's not just random, like, boom, here's your life, deal with it.
No, not according to Story. He says we actually choose the challenges we face because, and this is the interesting part, those challenges offer the most potential for, get this, growth. It's like choosing hard mode in a game because you want to level up faster.
Okay, that's a new way to think about challenges. They're not just like bad luck or whatever, but opportunities to learn and grow.
Then there's the veil of forgetting, where we willingly choose to forget our infinite nature to make the game more engaging, more interesting.
He's saying we actually choose the level of challenge in this life. Why on earth would we opt for a harder setting?
Well, Story emphasizes that we're driven by this deep desire for growth and expansion. Think about your favorite video games. Aren't you drawn to the ones that really test your skills, push you to your limits?
Yeah, for sure.
The Earth game is no different. We're here for the experience, the evolution, the thrilling ride of overcoming obstacles.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not about seeking out suffering, but about embracing the challenges that ultimately lead to deeper understanding and growth, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. What else does Story say about the rules of this Earth game?
All right, hold on tight for this one because he introduces this concept of game saves. He says it's like we have the ability to explore, get this, multiple timelines and realities.
Wait, hold up. Are you saying we have multiple lives happening at the same time? Like parallel universes?
Our higher selves, they can sort of test out different choices in these alternate realities before guiding us toward the best path in this timeline, in this life.
So it's like our higher selves are doing all this behind the scenes work, kind of like running simulations to help us make the best choices.
He calls it multidimensional guidance. For example, say you're thinking of quitting your job. Your higher self might be testing out both scenarios, staying and quitting in these other timelines. They use that info to nudge you in the direction that's best for your soul's growth.
So that gut feeling we get, that intuition, that could actually be our higher selves whispering to us, like, hey, I tried that, didn't go so well. Maybe try this instead.
It's like they have this insider knowledge, like they've seen the cheat codes or something.
Whoa, this is getting deep. So if we're playing this game, what's the goal? How do you win?
Story says winning isn't about worldly success or money or anything like that. It's about something he calls waking up within the game. It's about realizing while you're still here that you're this eternal being having this human experience. Realizing you're the player, not the character.
So winning is about becoming aware of the game while you're playing it. That's trippy.
It is. The key is overcoming fear. Fear is like the main thing that keeps us trapped in the illusion of the game. It makes us think this is all there is, and we forget we're just playing a role.
Okay, I can see that. But if fear is built into the game, how do we actually overcome it?
The first step is realizing that fear is just another part of the game. It's like, when you're playing a scary video game and you realize the monster is just pixels on a screen, not a real threat. Once you see that, it loses its power over you.
The key is to see through the illusion of fear and remember we're the ones in control.
We go from being a pawn in the game to the player who's calling the shots. We become the creators of our reality, not just the characters in it.
Man, this is blowing my mind. I'm so curious to hear more. I always try to listen to that inner voice, even if I don't fully understand it.
Yeah.
So it's like those alternate storylines or what-if scenarios that video games sometimes offer. We get to experience a taste of those possibilities before making a final choice. If we're truly infinite beings, why would we limit ourselves to a single linear experience?
Yeah. Video games often challenge our conventional understanding of time with concepts like teleportation and time jumps. And he suggests that these abilities are actually reflections of our multidimensional nature, where we can access different experiences through consciousness rather than physical movement.
So it's not about being limited by the physical constraints of time and space. It's about tapping into the boundless possibilities of consciousness.
It's about recognizing that our true essence transcends the limitations of the physical realm. Just like in a video game where you can instantly transport yourself to another location, we can potentially access different experiences through shifts in our consciousness.
That's a pretty radical concept. But then again, how does Story explain his own ability to channel information from other realms?
Well, he describes this interdimensional bridge where he connects with his guides and taps into a collective consciousness. We all have the potential to connect with our guides, our higher selves, and even experience this collective consciousness.
So we're not just playing this game solo, we have a whole team behind the scenes cheering us on and offering guidance. That's incredibly comforting.
It is, and it ties back to this beautiful concept of interconnectedness. We're not isolated individuals struggling through this game alone. We're part of a vast, interconnected web of consciousness, all working towards a common goal of growth and evolution.
So it's like we're all playing this massive multiplayer online game together, learning, growing, and supporting each other along the way. But how does Story reconcile this idea of a game with the very real suffering we see in the world?
He doesn't shy away from the darkness, but he encourages us to see suffering as a choice, contrast that allows us to experience the full spectrum of human emotions. It's a choice both for us as individuals, but also for this, collective consciousness, what he calls God or Source.
So even suffering is part of this cosmic game. I'm not sure I get it.
Think of it like this. He gives the analogy of someone choosing to go to, Antarctica. It's going to be tough, it's going to be harsh, but they go there for a reason, right?
Okay. So it's not about pretending suffering doesn't exist, but about understanding its role in the larger tapestry of our experience.
Imagine you're in Hawaii enjoying the warmth and beauty of the islands. You wouldn't need Antarctica to disappear in order to experience that joy, would you?
That's a great point. Suffering and joy can coexist. It's about where we choose to focus our attention and energy.
It's about cultivating a deep sense of inner peace and joy that remains unshaken even in the face of challenges.
This is where the game analogy really clicks for me. It's like leveling up our character, developing the resilience, the skills, the wisdom to navigate the toughest levels without losing sight of our true nature.
And he doesn't sugarcoat it. Story compares the Earth game to choosing the hardest difficulty setting, a choice we make before we even begin playing.
Whoa, okay, I need a minute to process that. So we're willingly signing up for the ultimate test of strength and courage. Why would we choose that?
Because we are driven by this insatiable desire to expand, to evolve, to experience the full spectrum of our being. We crave the challenges that push us to our limits and reveal our hidden potential.
So it's like we're these cosmic daredevils diving headfirst into the most intense experience possible, knowing that it's all part of a grander plan of soul evolution. Okay, I'm starting to see the bigger picture here. It's not about winning or losing. It's about embracing the journey, the challenges, the growth, and the incredible potential that lies within each and every one of us.
And that's just scratching the surface. We've barely touched on his insights into the big shift, this major transition point in the Earth game. He compares it to reaching the climax of a collective quest, a level up for humanity on a grand scale.
This is getting really exciting. So what does this new level look like? How do we play the game differently in this new reality?
He compares it to a climactic level in a video game, a point where everything we've learned and experienced kind of culminates in a profound shift.
It feels like humanity is at a crossroads right now, with so much uncertainty and change swirling around us.
He's suggesting that we're moving from a circular pattern of repeating cycles to a more expansive spiral. He uses the analogy of reaching the top of a spiral staircase. You're not just going in circles, you're ascending to a whole new level.
Okay, so this big shift isn't just about personal transformation. It's about a collective evolution of consciousness.
Exactly. And Story reassures us that those who resonate with these ideas, who are drawn to exploring the deeper mysteries of consciousness, are likely part of the group leading this transition. It's as if we've been training for this moment, honing our skills and expanding our awareness in preparation for this next level of the game.
That's incredibly empowering. But I have to admit, it's also a bit daunting. How do we navigate this uncharted territory?
Well, Story calls it 5+, a level of consciousness that goes beyond the traditional understanding of the fifth dimension. It's a reality where we can hold the awareness of our infinite nature while still engaging in the playful illusion of the Earth game.
So it's not about escaping this reality or transcending to some distant realm. It's about integrating that higher awareness into our everyday lives.
Precisely. Those who have reached 5+ have something unique to offer the collective, a profound understanding of suffering and contrast that other beings in different dimensions may not possess.
It's like we've earned a badge of honor, a cosmic merit badge, by navigating the intense challenges of the Earth game. And now we can use that experience to help others awaken to their own power and potential. This idea of being a light bearer really resonates with me. It's not about preaching or forcing our beliefs on others. It's about radiating that inner light, that sense of peace and joy that naturally inspires and uplifts those around us.
Yeah, the most powerful way to create change is to embody the qualities we want to see reflected in the world. It's about walking our talk, being loving examples of love, compassion, and empowerment.
So it's about aligning our actions with our intentions, becoming beacons of light that illuminate the path for others to follow.
He encourages us to focus on our own transformation, to cultivate those qualities of joy, resilience, and inner peace that naturally emanate outwards, creating a ripple effect of positive change.
This is where Story's connection to the Abraham-Hicks teachings really clicks for me. It's about aligning with the vibration of our desires, focusing on what we want to create, rather than getting caught up in the negativity and fear that often dominate our world.
Yeah, it's about shifting from a victim mentality to an empowered creator mindset, recognizing that we have the power to choose our thoughts, our beliefs, and ultimately our experience of reality.
This reminds me of the save points we discussed earlier. It's like we're constantly presented with choices, opportunities to rewrite the script of our lives.
Right. He suggests that we can use our thoughts and emotions as tools to consciously direct the flow of energy and manifest our desires.
So it's about becoming conscious creators, actively shaping our reality rather than passively reacting to circumstances.
Imagine it as a massive multiplayer online game where we're all collaborating to create a more beautiful and expansive reality.
It's a beautiful vision.
More and more people are waking up to their true nature as creators, tapping into their innate power, and choosing to play the game with greater awareness and intention.
So it's like we're at a tipping point, a critical mass, where the collective consciousness is shifting, paving the way for a new reality to emerge. But how do we actually navigate this transition? How do we stay grounded and centered amidst all the chaos and uncertainty?
He encourages us to tap into those inner resources that have always been available to us. Our intuition, our connection to our higher selves, and the guidance of our spiritual team.
So it's about strengthening that connection to our inner compass, trusting that inner voice and allowing it to guide us through this time of great transformation.
He reminds us that we're not meant to figure it all out on our own. We have a whole support system in place, both in the physical realm and beyond. He encourages us to reach out, to connect with others who are on a similar path, and to tap into the wisdom and guidance of those who have walked this path before us.
It's like we're all part of this incredible cosmic team, each playing our unique roles in the grand symphony of creation.
He reminds us to play the game with joy and courage, to embrace the challenges as opportunities for growth, and to never lose sight of our true nature as infinite beings of light and love.
What about those who are still deeply entrenched in the old paradigm? Those who are resistant to change or clinging to fear and negativity? How do we interact with them in a way that's both compassionate and empowering?
That's a really important question, and one that Story addresses with both wisdom and sensitivity. He encourages us to see those individuals as fellow players in the game, souls who are still learning and evolving at their own pace. He reminds us that we can't force anyone to awaken, but we can hold space for them, offer them our love and compassion, and perhaps even plant seeds of awareness that might inspire them to embark on their own journey of transformation.
So it's about respecting their free will, their right to choose their own path, while still holding that vision of a more loving and harmonious reality for all.
He suggests that sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is simply be an example, a living embodiment of the qualities we want to see reflected in the world. Our energy is contagious, and when we radiate love, joy, and peace, it can have a profound impact on those around us, even if they're not consciously aware of it. It's a bit like gaining a superpower, the ability to remain centered and joyful, even amidst challenging circumstances.
It sounds like a pretty incredible skill to cultivate. It's like mastering the art of detachment without losing compassion.
Story uses this compelling metaphor, imagine being surrounded by darkness, but you have this internal light source that can't be extinguished. You're not trying to eliminate the darkness, you're simply choosing to shine your light brightly, knowing that its presence naturally dispels the shadows.
Reminds me of the saying, be the change you want to see in the world.
Our energy is incredibly contagious. When we radiate love, joy, and peace, it creates this ripple effect, inspiring others to do the same. It's not about forcing our beliefs on anyone, it's about embodying those qualities and allowing them to naturally influence the world around us.
So it's about shifting our focus from trying to fix the world to becoming living examples of the change we want to see.
This shift in perspective is crucial for navigating the big shift and embracing the 5+ level of consciousness. It's about recognizing our role as conscious creators, actively shaping our reality rather than passively reacting to it.
This is where the power of intention comes in, wouldn't you say? It's not just about positive thinking. It's about consciously setting clear intentions and aligning our energy with the outcomes we desire.
He compares it to setting a destination in a GPS. If you don't input the desired location, you're unlikely to end up where you want to be. Setting clear intentions is like programming our inner GPS to guide us toward the reality we want to experience.
That's a great analogy.
Story also emphasizes the importance of gratitude, suggesting that it acts as a powerful amplifier, attracting more abundance and joy into our lives.
It's about shifting our focus from what we lack to appreciating all the blessings we already have. Gratitude really does have a way of transforming our perspective, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like we're recalibrating our energetic frequency, aligning ourselves with a higher vibration that naturally attracts more positivity and abundance.
This all ties back to the idea of playing the game with a sense of joy and enthusiasm, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We chose to be here, to embark on this incredible adventure of soul evolution, approach life with a sense of playfulness, curiosity, and wonder, remembering that we're co-creating this reality with the universe.
So it's not about taking ourselves too seriously or getting bogged down in the drama. It's about embracing the journey, the challenges, the triumphs, and the lessons, knowing that it's all part of a grander plan of soul expansion.
He leaves us with this powerful message. We are the game makers. We have the power to create the reality we desire, to choose joy, to be the light, and to rewrite the rules of the game. What an incredible gift to remember.
What final thoughts would you like to leave our listeners with today?
Well, I'd encourage everyone to take a moment to reflect on what truly brings them joy, what lights them up from the inside out, and then to consciously align their energy with that, to take inspired action toward creating a reality that reflects their deepest desires and their true essence as radiant beings of light and love.
Beautifully said.
Take care of yourself, be mindful, connect with nature, find what helps you stay grounded and centered, especially when things feel chaotic.
Right, build that inner strength so we can handle whatever comes our way. Wow, this deep dive has been mind-blowing. Stories, game theory, it's like a whole new way of looking at life, you know? It encourages us to question everything, to tap into our power, and to play this game of life with more awareness and more joy.
If all experiences, even the hard ones, are chosen, what does that tell us about reality, about ourselves? That's something to think about.
That is something to think about. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey. We hope you found some inspiration and some tools to help you play your game with more awareness, joy, and purpose. Until next time, keep exploring, keep playing, and keep shining your light.